Hello! I am gonna be servicing my Spank Spike mountain bike pedal today. I'm gonna disassemble it, give it a wee clean, and probably change the bearing. So I'll make a wee video all about it, and you can see how it comes apart. And so I've had a wee bit of trouble with these, but I think I've cracked it, so I'm gonna make a wee video. Okay, alright. So first thing I'm going to do is take the axle out, and the way that it's held on is quite easy. It's quite easy to get apart. There's just a lock nut there, and usually if you just loosen that 10mm spanner, you should just be able to pull the axle out. So under that lock nut there's a spacer, a rubber O-ring, a thin washer, and then that feeds into a bushing, which is replaceable as well. Then there's the axle, and there's the main bearing in this wider portion here, and there's also an extra seal there that you can take off. And one thing to be careful of is between the crank arms and the pedal there is an extra, just a thick steel washer there, so don't lose that. So, okie doke, I'll see if I can do that. So first, easiest thing to do is just to pop the Allen wrench back on the spindle, gives you something to hold on to, and then you should be able to put the spanner on the other side. And I'm not sure I can do that with one hand. Hey, I probably can actually, watch this. Just put that there. Or maybe actually put it back where it was. Good thing I've actually got two hands. We'll just cut this bit out. Once we got the lock nut off. Not going to focus on it. Ooh. Anyway, pop that aside. Then got last couple of bits. Spacer. See, O-ring here. That's just to seal the back of the axle. It'd be easier if you just push it out at that point, which we don't lose these bits. Your O-ring and washer. Put those aside, and you can see the bushing there, which will wear out. I feel like I've already replaced this one, but I'm not actually going to replace it just now because it's not damaged, it's just a bit manky. And what happened there was I just pushed and out popped the axle, which is tapered, as you can see. So it looks a bit rusty actually, which is probably mank from the bearing. So I have a feeling I tried to clean out, but didn't actually replace. Yeah, that looks pretty ming. So we'll get this out, get the bearing out, and put a new one in as well. Right, so I'll just pop this in the vise to get a better look at it. So looking down from here, there is an extra seal. That's not actually the bearing seal, that's just on the pedal body, and the bearing is underneath that. But it's a similar kind of seal to what you get on a seal bearing. But if we just clamp that a bit tighter, pop a wee, whatever you've got underneath it, you should be able to pop it off. Try not to deform it as we do it. Pop. There we go. So that's just a rubber coated seal as well. Pop that aside. And here is the bearing. Now, why I was motivated to make this video is actually because this bearing is a bit annoying. So it's just pressed in, happy as normal, but because the axle is tapered, So that hole through there is smaller than that one there. You can't drift it out from the back, so you have to pull it out. And I don't have a blind bearing puller, but I've got the next best thing, which I'll show you. So what I do have is an expansion bolt, and these are used for fixing into stone or concrete. So you drill a hole, pop it in, tighten it up, and this collet expands. But they're actually quite good for pulling out bearings as well. So this is an M8 sized one, and I'm sure you get big ones as well, but I just had one of these knocking about. So what we can do is pop it into the bearing, like so, kind of. Yeah, there you go. So that's actually collet inside. So all we need to do is try and tighten that up a little bit, and it'll start to expand. It doesn't need to be particularly tight, just enough that it'll get in the way. I'll just tighten that up. So that's me put it in, and I've tightened it up, and I'll see if I can just pull it out. Depending how cruddy the bearing is, you might just be able to wiggle it out. You might need to get a bit more creative for how you apply the force, but let's just try this. No, certainly can't do it one-handed. We'll just pop it in the vise and we'll give it a tug. So what I've actually done is I've clamped the bolt for the head of that in the vise, and I've just been wiggling it, and what's going to happen, get it tight, all a bit fiddly but worth it. Hey, what do we have there? A bearing, and there's the body of it, the pedal. So we'll just clean that up. We'll pop the new bearing in, which we've got sitting in a packet there, and happy days. We'll keep the old ones because they are always useful. They're always useful because it tends to be, if you clean them, take them apart, clean them, you get a bit of life out of them, because you never know. I might not have a spare set when I need one. But that trick worked brilliant for that. So there you go. Popping the new bearing back in is easy peasy. I'll show that as well. Alright, so last thing I'm going to do is just quickly pop the new bearing into the pedal body. Interestingly, these official bearings I got from Spank, which are a standard bearing, so you probably get them anywhere, but these have a green and a black side, and maybe that means something, maybe it doesn't. They are symmetrical, so maybe different kinds of seals. I don't know. I don't think it's critical, but maybe it is. I don't know. So all we're going to do is use the axle just to help guide it in. So if we just pop the new bearing on there, it should just drop on like that, like so. We can use that to guide into the pedal body, so that will keep it going in nice and straight. And that's it, really. We'll give it a wee tap. Be gentle because it is pushing on the inner race, but that's basically it. We'll put it all, clean it all up, put it back together. Bish bash bosh. Happy days. Okay, I'll edit this down to be less than forever, and yeah, Spank Spike bearing removal. Happy fun time. Okay, bye.